Hello everyone, it's FB here with a cast of the BA Championship 2015 Japanese GP. This event is hosted by the Black Angel team and will last for about 1 hour. Pit stops will be necessary for the drivers to refill their fuel during the race, and they also have to make sure to avoid getting penalties by crashing or driving outside of the road, which will require the player to visit the pit stop an extra time. If you want to participate in one of these races, then you'll have to download the Stadium F1 title pack and simply get on the server before it starts. And we are currently waiting for the race to start, and in the meantime let's have a look at the results from the previous race. It was of course the Singapore GP, and this time Morris89 took the win. And he did it in a very convincing fashion by being ahead of second place, which went to Turi with 1 minute and 25 seconds. Sopra took third this time to complete the podium. And with those results we see that Morris89 is now up to 398 points. Edster is at second with 253, Shak at third with 189 points, followed by Sopra at fourth with 179 points. Losco at 5th with 161 points, and Lars at 6th with 116 points. And then we have MC Robert at 7th with 104 points, Sauron new into the top 10 at 8th place with 96 points, Major at 9th with 91 points, and lastly El Wormo at 10th with 89 points. And we are about to start here. We have some warm-ups, I believe at least. Usually there is a warm-up, but maybe it's live. Not sure. We were of course waiting here for Morris89. Since he was playing in the Chase Cup, so it's possible that we just went straight into the race here. Not sure. Not getting a response from the chat, so I'm just gonna assume that it is live. Yeah, Edster says he thought it was warm-up, and usually there is a, I believe, like a 1 minute warm-up before we start, so not sure what's going on. But yeah, we see here Shumi in first place at the moment. Has won a race in the season before, as we may now get confirmation if this is live or not. Okay, it looks like it's not live, so that's good to figure out. Alright, so now it should be live. So a false start. But yeah, this time there will be 45 laps, which is 180 checkpoints in total. There's 4 checkpoints per lap. And you can see the players' checkpoint amount to the right once we start. So now it looks like we'll have a warm-up here of 2 minutes before we start. So you can just go through the players that will be driving in this race. We see Friddle Edster, Shumi as mentioned. We also got Xenon, Shak, Tiri, who took second in the previous race, Sauron, MC Robert, Lars. The rankings got changed here, of course, but Lars is also playing, and who did I mention? Did I not mention Kier from Black? And then I think, no wait, this guy as well, Belu from Black Angel team will also be participating, but I think that's all. And Morris89, of course, current leader. Will he be able to win again? Quite likely, but taking a look at the local record, we see that Morris89 is about 3 seconds behind the fastest time, which is by Shumi, so maybe he hasn't really practiced this circuit as much as he's done for other circuits. It was really impressive performance by Morris89 last week when the Singapore GP was played. Never really seen such a big victory, so that was good stuff by Morris89. It looks like we have about 15 seconds left of this warm-up. and then we'll finally start the race. Alright, and that should be the end of the warm-ups. Now we are starting this race. So again, we'll take about 1 hour, but I think that is, maybe I should change that, because it usually takes maybe like 1 minute, 10 minutes. So it's a bit longer, but we'll see how long this one will take. And let's follow Morris89 as we go live into this Japanese GP of the Black Angel Team Championship 2015. Not that many more races left to be played, to be honest. I think there's maybe like 4 or 5 left to be played after this one. As we see, Morris not getting that good of a start. He's down to 5th place or so. Edster, the one closest to him. Oh, as Morris hits the curb, but actually didn't get a slowdown from it. So with that, he can go up to 4th place. Edster currently in the lead ahead of Shumi, Shak, and then Morris89, who now will overtake Shak and go up to 3rd place instead. This circuit is quite different from the Singapore one, which was much more technical. This one is a bit easier, or much easier, I would say. A lot more stretches as well. So we'll see if that maybe suits players like Shumi and Edster, maybe even Shak, better. I think Morris89 is a player that likes technical tracks, that favors him. As we go live, as we go into lap 2 here, Edster still in the lead and really close between Shak, Shumi, and Morris89. And then we do see a big gap down to Soren, who is at 5th place at the moment. A really good start here from Edster. He won the Italian GP, the race before the Singapore GP. And I think that circuit was pretty similar to this one. So maybe this is a good fit for Edster. Let's switch to him, as he's in the lead with about 4,400s. You can see here the widget to the right, which shows how much fuel the players got. Once the mark reaches the red area, you have to enter the pit stop and refill your fuel. You can see the pit stops here to the right, but Edster not having to enter it anytime soon, unless he gets a penalty, of course, which would then force him to enter the pit stop. But so far Edster managing to avoid those. He had some trouble avoiding them last week in the Singapore GP. Lots of penalties for Edster that time. Shak at 2nd place. At 3rd place in the overall standings. And he was about to catch up to Edster there, but then unfortunately did get the slowdown from the curb. And we also see Morris89 with a slowdown, so Shak will regain 3rd place, but we do see Shumi advancing to 2nd behind Edster here. Both these players having won a race before in the season. See Shumi going a lot to the right, driving even on the grass a bit. Gotta be careful though that you don't drive too much outside of the road, because that could give you a penalty. It all depends on where the penalty marks have been placed. And Shumi catching up to Edster here. Not that much of a difference between them. Only a few tenths. So we see a couple of players improving their local records, including Kira from Black, who is at 11th place. We got 12 players participating this time. Yeah, this is really close between Edster and Schumi now. And then Shuck is about 1.5 seconds behind them. And it looks like, yeah, Marius89 has made some kind of blunder. He's allowed Soren to pass him. So he's down to 5th place. Still without a penalty though, which is always a good thing, because penalty will cost you a bunch of time. But yeah, I kind of suspect here that Marius89 may not have practiced this course as much as he's done for other courses. Not really used to seeing him this far behind. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to the podium before this is over. Still trying to catch up to Soren. And then Tiri is also not doing so well here early on at 6th place. Again, took 2nd last week on the very difficult Singapore GP. So that shows that Tiri is a pretty skillful player, but not having a good start here. And then next player is Belu at 7th. I don't know if he's played before, at least not in this season. Can't remember if I spectated him before. I did miss a couple of races though, so it's possible that Belu played in one of them. And then we have Zenon, which I believe is playing for the first time. I think he wrote that in the chat. We see also that the marker is now in the red area, so very soon the players will get the message that they need to enter the pit stops. Lars is at 9th place at the moment, and Fredel Shaman at 10th, MC Robert at 11th, and Care from Black at 12th. And while I was going through the players, it looks like Schumi has advanced to 1st place. Edster is nowhere to be seen. Edster also allowing Shuck to pass him. So Edster not doing so well. He also gets a slowdown and exiting the turn. Will cost him additional time. We see that Marius89 and Soren are now also close to Edster, who had such a good start to this race. As we now see him getting the warning message. So let's follow Edster, as he will soon enter the pit stop. And this is kind of similar to what happened last week as well. Edster had a good start, and then started making a couple of mistakes. So now Edster in the pit stop, filling up his fuel, and also cleaning his helmet there so you can see a bit more. And he's off again. Looks like Schumi didn't go for the pit stop though. He's gonna go for one more lap. So it's gonna put the players on different schedules. We'll see what the others will do. Also Shuck not going into the pit stop. Edster is up to 3rd place. Wait, he was at 3rd place, yeah. Right. So yeah, Schumi and Shuck not going into the pit stop. Looks like Marius89 also entered it, and so did Soren. So Schumi now, because he didn't enter it, he will get his screen gradually starting to turn black here. That happens, I believe, 1 minute after you get the warning message. But Schumi, as you can see, will have enough visibility to reach the checkpoint, or the pit stop rather, so he doesn't have to respawn. What you are risking. So Schumi should still be at 1st place. Shuck also in the pit stop here. See Edster coming up to the stretch here, and he will actually pass Shuck, who I believe must have crashed, because he was really close to Schumi, or much closer at least. See how close Marius89 is to Shuck. Or Edster rather. Okay, Shuck still at 2nd place. No wait, that's not right. Because they hadn't entered the checkpoint. Yeah, Chuck is down to 5th place here, so I think he must have made a big mistake there. As Edster says, he can't respawn. That's not good. He's also on his back, which is not good either, so I wonder if they maybe accidentally got respawn not allowed on the server for some reason, if Edster can't respawn, because it should be possible. So that's really unfortunate. That means that Edster is out. Yeah, so Edster unfortunately not able to continue playing. As I'm trying to fix something in my chat, but let's focus on the race again here. So yeah, Edster gonna leave the server now, obviously frustrated with that if the respawn was not on. So that may happen to other players as well. So now we see Soren up to 2nd place instead, as we have crossed 26 checkpoints so far. 180 will be crossed in total. So that means Edster won't get any points. I wonder if he is in danger of losing his 2nd place. As we see Soren getting the penalty. He should have gone into the pit stop there, to be honest.
Enters the pits for a stop and go.
He was right next to it. But he's gonna continue driving instead. I guess it doesn't matter too much. But that's gonna allow maybe... Yeah, well, it definitely will allow both Morris A9 and Chuck to pass him. Getting a penalty is very costly. You don't want to visit the pit stop at an extra time. Will make you lose up to 20 seconds. Good speed though from Soren over this stretch. But yeah, again, he will have to enter the pit stop here eventually. So now Shumi actually got a pretty comfortable lead. He's 9 seconds in front of Soren. So more and more looks like Shumi will be the winner. Unless we see something happen. But of course, we are still early into this race. See MC Robert proving his best time, 1:15.96. Soren now getting his screen darker, but he will have enough visibility as well to see the pit stop here. So we see Morris A9 and Chuck passing him. They will simultaneously overlap Frill Shaman. And yeah, Morris A9 back to the podium, as I said could happen. Had a bad start, was down to 5th place, but of course it helps if one player is no longer driving, which is Edster. But taking a look at the checkpoints there, it does say that Morris A9 is close to 10 seconds behind Shumi. So not really that close at the moment. Shumi is about to enter yet another lap. Yeah, I still haven't gotten the HTML5, so for me it's still Flash. But yeah, looking forward to that being added for sure. we continue to follow Shumi. Of course, also got the world record. I'm curious to see how far ahead he was of the others. Well, Edster was kind of close to him, but he's no longer playing, so Shumi actually had a really good time, as we do see him hitting the curb. That was pretty dangerous for Shumi. It could have gone much worse. Maybe even could have had the same fate as Edster there, and then of course he would have been out because respawn seems to not be on. So that was yeah, pretty scary for Shumi, but he's still first and still with a pretty big lead, as it looks like Shuck is now up to second place. Where is Morris 89? Oh, looks like he entered the pit stop here, but I don't think he got a penalty. I could be wrong, but I feel like I would have seen the message then. But so yeah, Morris 89 into the pit stop here. Soren's gonna pass him. He's already entered it, of course, because of his penalty. He also Titty, not too far behind Morris 89. He also went into the pit stop there. So you could see maybe him fighting for one of the podium positions. First place though, maybe not. So now Shuck should enter the pit stop. I thought Shuck and Morris 89 was on the same schedule though, so maybe Morris did get a penalty. See if Shuck will go for one more lap here or not. He could go for one more lap, I think, but he's gonna opt to not do so. We'll enter the pit stop and we see that Shumi is already there, and he's leaving it right when Shuck enters it. So still a big lead here for Shumi, but it's actually shrunk a bit. It's now less than 9 seconds up to Shumi. So you could maybe see him still lose that first place. What's safe to say though is that it's nowhere close to as big of a lead as it was last week for Morris 89. Again, 1 minute and 25 seconds ahead at the end, as you see Shuck getting a bad bump from the curb. Soren and Morris 89 about to pass him here. Soren will, but still in front of Morris at least. So this is quite close between Soren, Shuck and Morris 89. And then I don't think Titty should be too far behind. Yeah, he's about one turn behind. Maybe 5 seconds or something like that. So yeah, I could see an exciting battle between these players. Xenon got the same amount of checkpoints. No, he's one checkpoint behind at the moment, so he's maybe a bit too far behind here. Lars now at 7th place, and not that far behind Xenon actually. Could maybe catch up. And then Fredelchaman is at 8. He's still not into the next lap, I believe, so he's pretty far behind. MC Robert with 39 checkpoints, just like Fredelchaman. And then Kier from Black at 10th place. It looks like Bello also quit here, so we are down to 10 players, and Shumi is still in the lead. Lars improving his local record, 1:15.21, about 4 seconds behind Shumi's world record. Let's try to use an overview look here to see how far ahead Shumi is. See him going through the first corner here, and then the others that are trying to hunt him down are up next. Morris A9 at 2nd, Soren at 3rd, Shuck at 4th, and then Turi at 5th place. Fredelchaman is of course getting overlapped, but yeah, it's pretty close between quite a lot of players, as we do see Morris 89 potentially having a penalty. Unless it's a bug. But if this is a penalty for Morris, that's gonna cost him a great deal. And the reason why I'm saying that it might not be a penalty is because sometimes it will show me this message, but the player still doesn't have a penalty, so it's just some kind of bug with the media tracker, I assume. But yeah, we're just gonna follow Morris for a while here and see if he will enter the pit stop or not. As we are closing in on the pit stop. And he's not going to go for it, so that means that this is a bug. Morris does not have a penalty, because otherwise, as you can see, he wouldn't be able to see where he's going pretty soon. So yeah, it's something that I wish could have been fixed, but maybe it's not possible. Oh, Shuck goes outside of the road, but looks like he did avoid the penalty. Again, you won't get the penalty everywhere. Depends on where the penalties are placed. So it looks like there wasn't one there. Shuck still at third place. Tiddy at fourth. Looks like Soren did enter the pit stop, so he's on a different schedule compared to the other players. See if I can fix. Yeah, no, I can't. Only if I follow in replay mode I will see Morris. It's weird, but see if I can see. Looks like Morris is now 14 seconds behind Shumi. So Shumi has extended his lead. As we have now crossed 50 checkpoints. And I think this race will be maybe a bit longer than usual. 45 laps with 4 checkpoints per lap. I think, yeah, it might be a bit longer than usual. As we see Tiddy passing Shuck. That's interesting. Yeah, Tiddy now up to third place. And he's doing well once again, just like he did last week in the Singapore GP, where he took second place. So he's gonna enter the pit stop on this lap. We'll see if Soren will catch up. Also Shuck, I assume. No, actually Shuck could enter one more lap here. It's really different between the players here, how much fuel they have. It's like every single player got a different amount. So we see Tiddy entering the pit stop. Shuck will not. Did Morris enter it? I don't know. I think maybe he did. But his widget now has disappeared for some reason. So I don't even see how much fuel he got. But what I can say though is that he is much closer to Shumi. So Shumi must have entered the pit stop. Unless he got a penalty. It would have been nice if like there was an update like that showed if one player got a penalty, so that you can know always like what happened. That would be very nice for a caster, I think. But I guess it's not even possible, probably. So yeah, I assume that Marius will enter the pit stop on this lap. If he does, then that means that Shumi did not get a penalty here. So yeah, yes, Morris will enter the pit stop, and so will Shuck. And now let's see here, Soren. Yeah, Soren's gonna go up to second place. No, maybe not, but at least to third place. We'll pass Shuck, but still got Morris 89 in front of him. And let's see Tiddy. Yeah, Tiddy's also gonna pass Shuck. So a bit more dragged out now between these players. It's still fairly close. Seeing as it's such a long race. Let's continue following Soren, see if we can catch up to Marius. We see Tiddy in the distance. About one turn behind as Soren goes outside of the road, but looks like he did avoid a penalty. I think a penalty was placed there, so that was lucky from Soren. He can continue driving here. And now I can see the fuel again for Marius 89. I guess entering the pit stop fixed it. So Marius at second place, but taking a look at the checkpoint count, we see that he is almost 17 seconds behind Shumi. So Shumi, without a doubt, is the player who's driving the best at the moment. Seems very comfortable on this map. And we see also that Phil Shemin has updated his best time. It's 1:14.52 now. And apparently Soren got a penalty, not on my screen though, so not sure if he does have one. I think he would have entered a pit stop, so I think he's still without a penalty here. At third place, in close pursuit of Marius 89. And then we see Tiddy now going through the same turn, not that far behind either. And Shak down to fifth place. Been losing a bit of ground, not been doing so well for these last couple of laps. And then we have a 2 checkpoint gap down, no, 3 checkpoint gap down to Zenon at 6th, Larsen at 7th, maybe sort of close to Zenon, maybe not. Feldschemen at 8th, he's about, I think it was like 30 seconds or something behind Lars. MC Robert at 9th, far behind Phil Shemin, and Kier from Black at 10th place. See if he will be able to finish the race this week. I think since the course is not as difficult, there should be pretty good chances here for Kier from Black to finish the race. As we now have crossed 66 checkpoints out of 180. So still not even halfway through this race, so that means it will be quite a lot longer than usual if the checkpoint count isn't incorrect. Maybe it's only 3 checkpoints per lap. Am I still competing in tournaments? Not really. I play in like untrained events, but it's been a while since I did that. I'm not really focusing on playing the game these days. I already did it for so long as well, so I prefer just having
immediately to the pits.
Having another role these days, like a caster and organizer. So we see Shumi with the warning message. Gonna go for one more lap here. We see him going over the grass sometimes. which makes it a bit easier for him to take the next corner. And the key really is to know where the penalties are placed, because then you know where you can go for a trajectory which is outside of the road. Yeah, that's a good point. If someone flips here, then they won't be able to respawn and continue, so that would be very, very costly if it happened to one of these players at the top. As we see Shumi getting into the pit stop. And at the same time, Shak with a good time, 1:11.96. That's the third fastest time from Shak, who is trying to catch up. Let's take a look where Shak is now. He's still at 4th place, 6 seconds behind Titty. So I don't think he's really caught up that much, if anything, really. Did we have anyone enter the pit stop? Not Marius A9. Titty will enter it, and he went too far. We'll have to back it up. That's gonna cost him a few extra seconds. Shak will pass him now, but that's just because he's on a different schedule, of course. Soren looks like... Oh, it looks like Soren entered the pit stop a long time ago, so maybe he did get a penalty. I'm not sure. So we have some changes here. Let's see if we can use this overview look again. There's Shumi still not about to enter a new lap. Let's just use this camera to follow Shumi as he is getting closer to the finish now, building up a lot of speed over that stretch. About to overlap Zenon. Here's the stretch. Shumi now into the next lap. And here comes Marius A9, but I think this is because Shumi entered the pit stop, so it's not really that accurate. Of course, if the race ends at that moment, then it would be accurate. Then we see no other player here. It's gonna take a while before Soren comes up next, so I think Soren actually did get a penalty. As we see also Titty going through that corner, and then Shak at 5th place. So yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of what's going on in these races, but I'm doing my best. One thing I can say for sure though is that Shumi is looking to win this race, as Marius now of course will have to enter the pit stop, and then we'll see how far behind he is. I think it's maybe close to 20 seconds if Shumi is continuing to drive faster. So Marius now in the pit stop. And off he goes. Let's see if Soren will pass him. Doesn't look like he will. So Marius will keep his 2nd place. Teddy also not in the pit stop, of course. Shak entered it recently. Let's see now if we can figure out how far ahead Shumi is, as he's about to cross the 80th checkpoint. Yes, Marius A9 now above 20 seconds behind Shumi, who continues to extend his lead. So really good stuff from him, as we still haven't crossed the halfway mark of this race. But I'm kind of suspecting that there are only 3 checkpoints, because usually they want to have it be around 1 hour. So that would mean, if so, then that would mean that there's 135 checkpoints in total. So that could be the actual number here. I'm gonna write it up. I think 1 hour is pretty ideal for this length, for the length of the race. I hope that's gonna be the case. That wasn't too good of a turn from Shumi, but did didn't really lose too much time either. Oh, stumbles a bit. Will cost him a bit of time again, but yeah, it's still looking really good for Schumi. As we see, Morrissey 9 with a potential penalty, but more often than not, this is not correct. So I'm still gonna say that he is not having a penalty here. But just to be safe, we'll follow him and see if he will enter the pit stop or not. Okay, so there are only 3 checkpoints. That's good to know. So that means the actual number is 135 checkpoints. And Mari is not entering the pit stop, so he is not having a penalty here. Soren is gonna enter the pit stop to refuel. And Thierry will pass him because of that, but yeah, they are on very different schedules, so it's gonna be interesting to see at what point the race will end, because that could make a big difference. Chuck also passing Soren, so he's up to 4th place for the moment. Pretty close battle between Tiddy and Chuck going on at the moment. Tiddy in the lead with only 3 seconds. And they are about to overlap Lars, who is at 7th place, 1 lap behind them. Oh, and now I think Chuck is a bit further behind Thierry. Let's see if I can confirm that. Yes, he's now 4.5 seconds behind, so Chuck, with a bit of a mistake, will allow Thierry to build up a bigger lead. About to enter the pit stops again. We also see that Marius is now 21.5 seconds behind Schumi, so it continues to grow. And it's at this point it's Schumi's race to lose, to be honest. It will have to require a very significant blunder from Schumi if he's going to lose this one. So Tiddy into the pit stop. And I believe Chuck already entered it. No, he's not entering it yet here. He's past Tiddy, of course, for now at least. Tiddy down to 5th place with that. Soren also passing him, but he will pass them both eventually, or very soon actually, once Chuck enters the pit stop, and then also Soren a bit later on. So yeah, again, depending on when the race ends, Tiddy could either finish at 3rd place or at 5th place. So that could go either way. It's hard for me to know exactly when the race will end. As you see, Morrissey 9 with a good time as well, 1:11.95. 3rd fastest time. Chuck will go for 1 more lap. He kind of hesitated there. It looked like he was about to go into the pit stop, but then decided to not go for it and will drive one more lap here. Oh, that was lucky that he didn't get a slowdown. It's always a risk driving over these curbs. They are not to be trusted at all. Preferably, you want to avoid them as much as possible. Oh, wow, that was awkward from Chuck. Fell out of the road, but actually didn't lose too much speed. I was kind of expecting him to lose more. But of course not that good of a lap for Chuck. As he now is having his screen turn black, and this is actually gonna be close. Because of those mistakes, I think he's gonna be very close here to not see anything. Will he be able to reach the pit stop? I think he... Oh, what a crash there from Chuck! And now I'm not so sure. Will he have enough visibility? He goes for it. And he misses it! He will miss it. He had to drive to the right there. I'm pretty sure he missed the pit stop here, so... Yeah, he's standing still now. He's not even gonna respawn, so I think Chuck is out of the race because of it. He says respawn is disallowed. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh man, that is really unfortunate for Chuck. So he is also out of the race because of it. Yeah, had he not crashed there in the end on those bollards, he would have had enough visibility. But I thought he still was able to see, because I could see at least the checkpoint or the pit stop. So maybe he like got a different setting on his screen or something, so he doesn't see as much as I do. Could be that. But yeah, unfortunate. Chuck is also out here. So now it's between Titty and Soren only for third place. Yeah, respawn normally is on, but for some reason it's not right now. So it's a bit of a miss there. But yeah, what can you do? Alright, let's see the fuel here again. So Titty is still in the green area, and then Soren is on the red one. So they are on very different schedules. Soren soon entering the pit stop. But yeah, there's always a risk going for like one extra lap, especially if you get that warning message just before entering the next lap. It's pretty scary if you make a mistake or two, like Chuck did. Alright, so Soren getting the warning message as I get information that the spectators don't see the fuel fading at the same time as his players. So that would mean then that that would explain why I saw more than Chuck did. But I wonder why that is, because I mean, it makes much more sense if it's the same for the spectators as well. So maybe it's another bug there. But Soren is now entering the pit stop. We have crossed 103 checkpoints in total. Shumi still in the lead. One checkpoint in front of Morris 89. Where's Titty? Here he comes. And yeah, this is really close between Titty and Soren. Only about 1 or 2 seconds between them at this point. And we don't have that many more checkpoints to cross. About 20 more to go. Let's just take a look here at Shumi once again. We'll enter a new lap. Let's see if we can figure out how far ahead he is of Morris 89. We may not be able to do that, to be honest, because it looks like Shumi is now 2 checkpoints in front of Morris 89 at certain places. So we'll see here if Morris can cross the 105th checkpoint, so we can see exactly how far behind he is. No, we cannot. Shumi just entering the next one, but maybe if we continue to look here, We can see it in the next one. But that means, of course, that the lead is even larger now. I would say over 25 seconds possibly. So good job here by Shumi. Okay, now we see it. It's 22 seconds, so it hasn't really grown that much. I think it was 1 less second last time. So we also see that Marius did set a pretty good time recently, so maybe he's starting to learn the track. Again, I don't think he was that trained on it.
Return immediately to the pits.
As you see, Shumi not able to get the drift through that chicane, so he's losing a bit of time with that, but not that much, of course. And now we see him in the pit stop, and this is gonna be the last visit for Shumi. I am pretty certain of, because we don't have that many more checkpoints left to pass. So yeah, we see here Marius not able to catch up completely to Shumi. But if Shumi does make a pretty big mistake and the race ends like on this lap, then I could see Marius still taking first place, but he kind of needs a lot of things going his way for that to happen. Marius trained less than 1 hour. Yeah, I think that makes sense based on his driving here, because he usually does much better early on, and this time he didn't really, so can always tell. Going a lot to the right before this long turn to the left. Seems to be much faster. But yeah, most interesting now is who's gonna take third place. It's either Soren or Tiddy. Tiddy now having entered the pit stop, as you can see. So he's again a bit further behind Soren. We'll just have to wait and see how this one will end. Shumi now up to 111 checkpoints out of 135. Not that much left to go. And then going through the rankings here, we got Xenon at 5th place. Of course, all players gaining a position, since Shaq also had to quit because respawn was not on. So Xenon at 5th, Lars at 6th, Frel Shaman at 7th, Kier from Black at 8th. Those are the only players still driving. Alright, so Marius now entering the pit stop. Curious to see how far ahead he is of Soren. If I can figure that out. Just taking a look at the times here. Can't really tell exactly. But it's a pretty big distance. Yeah, it's about 15 seconds or so down to Soren. So big lead for Marius A9 as well at 2nd place. We can actually maybe use this camera again to follow Shumi. And then we see the exact time differences. Oh, and Xenon has also quit since respawn was not on, so a lot of players being affected by this admin error. So that's a bit unfortunate. Hopefully though it won't happen to any more players. It would really suck if it happened to Shumi, because I think he definitely deserves to win this race, as he's now going through the stretch. Just a handful of laps left to go for Shumi. And let's see now where Marius 89 is. He's of course entering the pit stop. You can see where Soren and Tiddy are. They still have a long way to go. Marius 89 now leaving the pit stop. And I think the distance is about the same 21, 22 seconds up to Shumi. And here's Soren. Crossing the finish line, still not entering the pit stop. And then here is Tiddy at 4th place. So not that close at the moment. Not sure what MC Robert means in this private message here, but yeah, it's just it's unfortunate, of course, since respawn is usually on in the previous races. So Shumi now having crossed 120 checkpoints, 15 checkpoints to go until he is the winner of this race. Will get 35 points. Let's see if he will. Oh no! 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 Oh my god! No! Oh no, that is such a bummer. So Shumi is out. He will not win this race even though he completely dominated. Oh, that is so unfortunate. So that means that Marius89, unless he also somehow flips, he will be the winner of this race. Oh man, it's like half of the field having had this happen now. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. Not sure if Morris is still aware of this, but he's now up to 1st place in the checkpoint, and this was just a few laps from the end as well. So I mean, this is painful to say the least. For Shumi especially. Yeah, I mean it's the same for everyone, but the thing is though that you know, everyone assumed that respawn was on and then it wasn't, so I guess that's what maybe makes it a bit unfair, but yeah, Marius89 here, it's gonna be the winner, I'm pretty sure. He's usually a very safe player, he doesn't really take many risks, especially if he doesn't need to, and now he knows that he is in the lead, and he's, as you can see, far ahead of Tiddy. 24 seconds to be exact, so Mori's going to be the winner of the Japanese GP. We got 125 checkpoints out of 135, 10 more to go. Now 9 as Marius89 enters this next lap. I believe there's 3 more laps to go here. And taking a look at this battle between Tiddy and Soren. See that Tiddy is now going into the checkpoint. I keep saying checkpoint, I mean the pit stops, and he's not gonna go for the risk. We saw Shaq going for 1 more lap. So Tiddy now entering it, and here is Soren entering the next lap, passing Tiddy. But oh yeah, actually, yeah, this means that Soren will take 2nd place because they are not going to enter the pit stop 1 more time. So Soren looking to take 2nd in front of Tiddy at 3rd place. Shumi still at 4th actually. See, do we have the other players still driving? Frelshemen is at 5th now. Lars at 6th. And Kier from Black at 7th. So yeah, we saw Edster, Belu, MC Robert as well. Shak, Xenon and Shumi all forced to quit. 2 more laps left to go here for Marius89. about to win yet another race, and this will put him over 400 points in the total score. And that may actually be enough for him to secure first place without even participating in any more races. Because there aren't really that many more left to be played. I think it's like 4 or 5 more races. So maybe this is enough for Morris already. He could possibly secure first place in the season with this win. This is doing some zigzags there to celebrate his win. Doesn't even go for a drift there, it just uses the brake. Takes it very safe. Does not want to have the flip happen to him. And I believe this should be the last lap for Marius89. Will put another win to his collection. I think he will get the warning message here on the last lap, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to enter the pit stop, of course. Can just go for the finish instead. 2 checkpoints in front of Soren. Oh yeah, he may have actually already secured it last week in Singapore. It's possible. So yeah, we see him getting the warning message, but just a few more turns left to go for Marius89. And then we'll see if a 10-minute timer will start. Usually that is what happens, so that the other players can also finish the race. I remember once though it just ended, so maybe that could happen again here. We'll see. Here's the final stretch for Marius89. Will take home the win on the Japanese GP. Congratulations to him, but of course Shumi, I would say, was more deserving of that win, but unfortunately flipped and then couldn't respawn. Actually, with that respawn he would have lost a significant amount of time, so maybe we could have seen Marius taking the win just by that, because there are only 3 checkpoints throughout the track, so yeah, maybe that would have still been enough, but we'll just never know, I suppose. Soren will take 2nd place here, and then Tiri is on his way to take 3rd place. As MC Robert is saying here that he's contemplating whether he should redo the race or not. I don't know, we'll see. Tiri will take 3rd place, and here is Frelshaman at 4th place. Got 9 minutes left on the clock. Frelshaman with 1 more lap after this. Yeah, I don't know. Oh wow, what a crash from Frelshaman. That was pretty rough for Frelshaman. I couldn't find the words, but yeah, actually Lars is gonna pass him here at the end, so we have an exciting battle between Frelshaman and Lars for 4th place. Let's follow Lars. This is the final lap. We'll decide who will take 4th place. Frelshaman losing a lot of time on that crash. Lars keeping the distance. If he can avoid mistakes, he should be able to take this 4th place. Not too many turns left to go. Still need to pass the this part, of course. He goes for a safe break, and that looks to be it. Lars will actually steal the 4th place from Frillshaman here at the end. And Frillshaman will take 5th instead. Alright, so we got 1 player left driving. It's Kier from Black. He goes up to 6th place. Will be his best result, I think, since we had so few players finishing this race. 7 minutes left on the clock. He's still got quite a lot of laps left to be driven. But I think he should have enough time to finish the race. As they are discussing here if they will redo the race or not. I don't know what I think about that. But, well, I'm not the admin, of course. If the players want to play it again, then they could do that. But I'm not so sure if I would cast it, to be honest. Depends when it is. So, yeah, following the last player, Kier from Black. 6 minutes left on the clock. He got 10 more checkpoints to pass. But pretty sure he got enough time to finish, unless he gets a penalty or 2. This is a race that is kind of mimicking the Formula 1 season. It always takes place the week after the real Formula 1 race. And you have to enter the pit stops to refill your fuel as well. And the tracks are custom made with 3D objects. It's pretty cool, I think, but not too many people play the races here. Just a few people. So we already know the results. Marius A9 taking 1st, Soren taking 2nd, TD 3rd, Lars at 4th, Frillshaman at 5th, Kier from Black is the last player to drive. You got 4 minutes left on the clock before the race will end. Kier from Black, 2 more laps left to go. And I think they are coming to a decision here that they are not playing the race again. But not completely sure about that. Three minutes left on the clock. It's gonna be pretty close here for Kier from Black, but he should have enough time. Looks like they may actually redo the race, but yeah, I don't think I will cast that race in that case. As we see Kier from Black now entering the final lap. Less than 3 minutes to go. So yes, he will have enough time to finish. Yes, this is using a title pack in Mania Planet called Stadium F1. And it's created by MC Robert. He's created all the tracks as well. I may still cast it if they redo it, but of course it's kind of not ideal having to redo a whole cast. But yeah, I may still record it at least, we'll see. Again, it depends on when it's gonna take place. But anyways, Kier from Black through the last corner, entering the stretch. 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock, and he will take the last position at 6th. So that's going to be the end of the Japanese GP of the Black Angel Team Championship 2015. Morris 89 winning, but again, we may see the race being redone because respawn was not on, and several players, like half of the players, had to quit the race because of it. So we'll see, but for now I will at least be off. So thank you all for watching, and see you next time.